Hey guys, I chose to do clay as a demonstration for play therapy. Yeah, for my demonstration, I really like this technique. I one thing that I really enjoyed be able to use this with and it's very applicable to young children is that he allows them the freedom to be creative and demonstrate the creativity, especially in young age when a lot of them they are experiencing many things that are new for them. So it allows them to be able to express those with sculpturing and making shapes and things like that. Anyway, so if I will have a child in my practice coming and I will use this as a technique, what I will try to do first of all is taking some pieces away from the big block. So I will definitely tear some pieces and then either roll them and then just give it to them, and then I will definitely be telling them like to mimic my demonstration of rolling them, and then just kind of like playing like this in the surface and roll it like this to create some sort of shapes. One thing that I like about this, I allow them to get some sensory feelings in their hands, especially for some young children. They're very that could be very difficult for them to be able to feel those things. So he allows them to feel that. Also, he will allow them to just be creative, and then just I will just give them the freedom to tell them, okay, now you can just create whatever you feel like you want to do right now. So one of the things that as a therapist I have to notice the things that they're making, how he or she interacting with the clay, like how um, seeing some of the maybe notes and then some of their creations and see exactly what are the themes that comes out of it. So for example, if one of them will, start working and creating like a box like this, and then I will see the box and I'll be like, oh, that looks like a box. Yeah. And then I'll be like, oh, what are you trying to make? Oh, I'm just trying to make a house. Oh, and I will be like, oh, that's a nice house. Whose house is this? And they could be saying like, oh, it's my house. Most children might say that was my friend's house. Um, and and then I'll be talking about that. I'll be talking about what is it that how's important to you? What is it that you are wanting to create? It looks really nice. And then also another example could be is sometimes they could take pieces apart from the box or from whatever creation they're making. So notice those things too, like what does that mean to you? What are you taking away some things from out of that house? um, and that can help the child to express something in particular with situations or feelings surrounding them. Um, One thing that I feel that could be challenging sometimes to be able to, depending on the age, you be able to come up with ideas and how this relates to the relationship with their parents and siblings or friends. One thing I can think I thought about is if I see that they're having pieces like this, strips, and they will be just taking strips apart in even pieces, then I will be thinking about, okay, what are the, I noticed that they're all evens. Why they're all the same? And then they could be coming about talking about maybe like I give time to my mom, time to my dad the same way I give time to my siblings, but then it could be something like there might be a small piece and that might be something about time, little time to themselves maybe. um, I could ask them what is the each strip represent of. Like if they think about it, they can you can name them. What are the names for each strip? So they might be coming up with names, people in their life. So yeah, so there's a lot of different freedom of how to be able to um, use clay as a demonstration or as a tool to do therapy. Um, like I say, allows the child to tell their story, and that is more illustration, and it's basically their own story, like their own creativity. It's their own way of telling the story. Um, and then also enables the child to be able to experience success and satisfaction when completing something like this. So like if they're trying so hard to make a shape like a house, and obviously this is not a perfect square for a house, in my opinion, for me, but they try their best to do so, then the satisfaction to be able to be proud of themselves for creating something, it could be also allow them to feel that way. One thing to finally, one thing that I wanted also to notice is that sometimes they could be making shapes like this, and then they could also be carving kind of like with a pen or something. I will probably give them that to them if they want to create something, because clay allows them to be able to do that. And then sometimes they might be making like a happy face, kind of like a very happy face, or sometimes they could be making sad face, or like, I'm not perfect, but I'm trying my best. Yeah, like a really sad face. So if I notice those things as a therapist, I'll be like asking like, oh, who's that? And then they can say themselves, they could probably say somebody else. And I notice also the feeling on the expressions like sadness and happiness. So that will allow the child to talk about that story of why that particular feeling is showing in their it's illustrating in their art. So yeah, so clay has a great variety of options for you guys to be able to do. And so thank you so much.